Hello, everyone. It's Andrea Vall. I am the co-author of Facebook Marketing All-in-One for Dummies. If you have not connected with me already about that, but I wanted to take a moment and talk about Meta's announcement, Mark Zuckerberg's announcement about the Meta verified blue check mark. A lot of people upset about this. There's a lot of discussion about it. Mark announced this recently, and his post already has over 84,000 comments on it, mostly angry. Mostly people are mad about this announcement. But first, let's talk about what it is. You are going to get 5 things, according to their announcement, with this new subscription, this new monthly subscription that you can partake in or not partake in. One is just the blue checkmark badge. This was already a feature of Facebook as a verified badge, and that was available for profiles or pages. And now it looks like this rollout of the badge is only going to be for profiles, from what I can tell, or creator accounts. And it looks like there are some nuances about that we'll talk about in just a second. And this is really for Facebook or Instagram on this. The second thing it's going to include is more proactive monitoring of impersonation. If you've ever been a victim of a spoofed account, some people think they're hacked accounts where all of a sudden another profile pops up pretending to be you. That is a spoofed account where people have kind of scraped your information and created a new account. It's not actually a hacking, but what I'm assuming they're going to be kind of more proactively monitoring spoofed accounts like this and impersonated accounts. Now, this is not going to take away the free thing that you can do right now on this, the fact that you can report that profile and you can have your friends report it. That's a good way to get out of that spoofing and get that account shut down. And from what I've seen, Facebook usually shuts those fake accounts down pretty quickly. So that still, to me, is going to be a free part of their service that's going to be ongoing. But what they're talking about with the Meta verified is that you're going to now get more proactive monitoring of that. And I assume for people who are larger creators, have bigger followings, this is probably a pretty cumbersome problem that they have to deal with, people just pretending to be them all the time. The third thing that I think that they're going to offer, that I think is one of the most valuable, is a more accessibility into customer service. So right now, it's very difficult to get in touch with customer service on Facebook. Even if you're advertising, even if you're spending dollars on ads, sometimes it can be really challenging to get in touch with someone on Facebook to get your problems resolved. So what I'm not sure about this with the customer service issue is that if you're an ads manager and managing lots of ad accounts, does that mean you're going to be able to get in touch with customer service way more easily for all of your ad accounts? I'm assuming so. I would think that would be the case. I do know, as an advertiser myself, I can get in touch with people there right now, but it'd be interesting to know if it would be more accessible for anyone else who's advertising there. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, that I think is another good piece of what they're offering, is this increased visibility and reach. Now, what I think is interesting and nuanced about that statement is that right now they're talking, it seems to me that this is offered for profiles. So are they talking about increased visibility and reach for profiles, for your profile? I wouldn't assume that it would mean that any page you're attached to would get increased visibility and reach. It seems to me like it would be the individual profile or creator. And again, we're going to come back to that because I think this is interesting tangled web that they're introducing here with this profile creator language here. And then the fifth thing that they mentioned that you would get with this new subscription is this exclusive features, and they mentioned something like 100 free stickers to show support for other creators. And what does that mean? Is that going to be is that going to be like just a little special sticker instead of the like button or the love button? Maybe if you are a creator and you're giving someone else a special sticker, does that mean that that post is going to get more reach, get more visibility? All of a sudden, we've got creator profiles giving each other stickers and handing out stickers to get this extra bump of reach, possibly, or more visibility on their posts. It could be an interesting dynamic with that, more of a layered approach to the like and the love, or the little reactions are free, but then the stickers are an extra bump for something. So that could be an interesting thing that they start layering in there. Now, one of the things that a couple of caveats to the announcement were that there's no changes to existing verified accounts at the moment. Now, before, you could verify your page or your profile. And right now, what they're saying is that you have to verify with uh, a a government issued ID, such as passport or a driver's license or something like that, and that name has to exactly match the name on your profile, the name that you're verifying. So that brings up an interesting question for me, is that if you couldn't get your name exactly as it was for Instagram, your Instagram account, a lot of people had that happen, then does that mean you're not able to verify your Instagram account? Um, and uh, the other thing that I thought was interesting about this is they talked about verifying it for creators. And one of the things that they are doing that is a little bit nuanced here is, before, they used to say that pages were the place for business, for promotion and things like that. But now what they are also mentioning the professional mode for Facebook profiles. So, like, Facebook profiles now have a professional mode that you can turn on. So that to me sounds more like a page, right? That would be, to me, what pages should be about. Is your page is that professional mode, but you've now got a professional mode for your profile, and that allows you to be a creator in some sense. So again, a lot of this stuff is still rolling out and super unclear, and I think is going to have to be untangled, because now, are we going to advise people to even create a page if your uh, your professional mode profile gets more reach? Why wouldn't you use that more often? But probably the case would be that you wouldn't be able to use that in ads. So that would be the limitation with the professional mode profile in that case. Um, and they also did say clearly in the announcement that right now businesses are not eligible for this Meta verified um, badge. So to me, that means profiles only, or this professional mode profile, for example. And they're rolling this out just in Australia. Um, so the big question becomes, should you get this? Should you get this? And that, there's much to be seen about all of that, of course, but as an advertiser, as someone who is using social media for a business, I'm definitely going to get this, because if I can get more visibility on even my organic stuff, that's interesting to me. If I can get better access to customer service, that's more interesting to me. And if I can just make sure that they are keeping a little bit more safety on my account, such as this proactive monitoring. I don't know if that's quite as beneficial, but I think that's an interesting idea. So, I definitely would be open to getting this. And I think anyone who is advertising on Facebook or using Facebook in this business capacity should think about getting this when it does roll out to whatever country you're in, because I think it can make some sense to have that better access. That's the biggest bonus I see in this. It's also begs the question, is, does that mean that if we're monitoring, if we don't get it, are we going to get bad customer service or a non-existent customer service, even if we're spending a lot of money on our ads? So that's a huge question. And John Loomer raised that question. I'll link to his post as well in the comments here because I think that's interesting. The other question that is in place is if you have to pay both for Facebook and Instagram verified accounts separately. I saw one article that seemed to indicate they thought you did. It wasn't clear from the Meta announcement that was out there. It wasn't clear to me, at least. There was someone who did say you will need to pay for that separately. In which case, it becomes a little more expensive at whatever $24 a month for the year or whatever it might be rolling out to be. But it's an interesting time. I think that for Facebook, managing a billion, billions of daily active users or whatever they're at now, they are they have to figure out how to monetize other than ads, because that is not necessarily good to put all of their eggs in just that one monetization basket as they continue to try and serve people. And we look at other places that have created these subscription services, places like newspapers. Obviously Twitter just did it, but there's other sites that are now rolling these types of things out to maintain their customer service. So in the end, it doesn't necessarily really matter exactly what we think about it. It's their decision to roll that out, and it's our decision if we want to participate. And a lot remains to be seen about the whole thing, and we'll just keep chugging along with what happens here. The big thing is Facebook is still the biggest platform of users, and we'll see if this affects them in any way. It'll be interesting to see if people leave because of it. But I think for most users, they won't have any changes in the way that they deal with Facebook. So for most users, they won't have to use this subscription service. But I think for advertisers and businesses who are using a Facebook ad platform to promote themselves, I think it probably would be a good idea. All right. Thanks, everyone.